Hey, what's going on?
Hi friends!
Hey y'all.
Hey there!
Hello from UNC Greensboro.
Well, we really wish we could personally welcome you to our beautiful campus today.
We're so glad you're here with us virtually.
During this year's open house, there are a ton of opportunities to connect with us.
We have more than 20 info sessions lined up across 3 weeks, all streamed live on our website.
You'll hear from admissions and financial aid staff,
Advisors, professors, and students.
Maybe you'll even see this familiar face.
You can also interact with the panelists in each session by texting us your questions and we'll answer them in real time.
Take some time to explore our website for even more information, like a personalized viewbook, campus tour signups, and of course, a link to apply.
UNCG is a really special place, and we hope you get to see a glimpse of that during this year's open house.
We're crossing our fingers that you'll get to meet with us face to face sometime really soon. Until then,
Mask up,
Wash your hands,
And go Spartans!
And go Spartans.
go Spartans.
go Spartans.
and go Spartans.
Fall virtual open house event as we kick off week 2 of programming. We are so excited to have you here today. My name is Tatiana McEnany. I am one of the assistant directors for undergraduate admissions here at UNCG. I'm also a 2015 student athlete alumni, so I'm really excited to be here to talk to you a little bit more about UNCG. And luckily we have 4 amazing Spartan guides here to help me present that information to you. And I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Hey Katie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. So I'm Katie. I'm a senior from Holly Springs, North Carolina. I'm majoring in English and minoring in classical studies. And apart from being a Spartan guide, I'm also a university marshal, and I'm involved in the English Honor Society called Sigma Tau Delta. So I'm going to hand it off to Alicia.
Hi, my name's Alicia. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a sophomore here at UNCG. I am double majoring in political science and African American studies. Apart from being a Spartan guide, I work in the chancellor's office and I am a part of Alpha Lambda Delta. Now I'll kick it off to Shira.
Hi everyone, my name is Shira Kelly. I'm a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm majoring in speech pathology. And aside from Spartan guides, I'm also an orientation leader at UNCG.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for introducing yourself and helping me with this presentation, because you are all the real experts when it comes to UNCG. Speaking of, for anyone tuning in, please, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, all you have to do is text us. We will try our best to answer them throughout the presentation, and we will also answer questions after the presentation. Now, speaking of, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I wanted to say welcome again. Thank you all so much for tuning in virtually. I know this could be a little bit odd doing this virtually, but we do hope that you and your families are managing well throughout all of this. Just know that our staff wishes that we can see you all in person, but we have great technology and we are able to do it virtually. So, you know, we are gonna roll with the punches, and we are so happy that you are here to learn more about UNCG. So what you can expect today, I've got a presentation about 35-45 minutes. We will talk a little bit about student life, admissions, how to apply, and the admissions process. At the very end, we'll be able to answer some questions live. All right, so one of our goals today is to show you what makes UNCG unique and how that uniqueness can impact you as a student at UNCG. Find your way here is really a tagline developed out of UNCG's already existing culture. Katie, can you tell us how you found your way here to UNCG?
Yeah, so I know when I was in high school and I was applying to colleges, I really wanted a college that would help me find what I was passionate about. And I think that UNCG has really helped me figure out what I'm interested in, and also the steps that I need to take to be able to get there. Alicia, how did you find your way here?
I found my way to UNCG because I just felt like it was home. And then once I got here, I found people and staff and faculty who all supported me and wanted helped me, especially being my first year last year. I kind of was able to find out stuff about myself, but I'm still honestly learning about myself since I am a sophomore. But how about you, Shira? How did you find your way here?
Just like Katie and Alicia, a big part of it was just like finding my passions. And my major is something that I'm really passionate about. And so it was just great to come to UNCG and see how everybody who was also majoring in the same thing as me and all of the faculty in my major department were really like passionate about what they're working in. So that just made me more comfortable and more open to ask questions to the faculty here.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for sharing that. So as you can see, they found their way here. It's a little bit different. So hopefully we can give you some information about UNCG and help you find your way here. Now, a little backstory about UNCG. We were founded in 1891 by Dr. Charles Duncan McGeever, who is an advocate for women's education, which is why our institution first started off as an all-women's college. And in fact, it was actually the first school for women in the region. We did join NC State and Chapel Hill in 1932 to form the UNC school system. And then we decided to invite men on campus in 1963 and became coeducational. But as you can see on the screen here, we have about 20,000 students here at UNCG. We do offer over 125 different degree programs over 6 schools or colleges. So you can see those that are bolded in the blue. If you do see an asterisk next to any of these majors, just know that that just typically requires a secondary admissions requirement. So it is either going to be for you to submit a portfolio, audition, interview, or some of the other majors that require a GPA requirement. But we have our Bryan School of Business and Economics, our College of Visual and Performing Arts, our School of Health and Human Sciences, our College of Arts and Sciences, School of Nursing, and our School of Education. We do offer pre-professional programs that you can see right here. Just know that we have advisors for each of those programs. So if you are interested in going to a secondary school, we have advisors that help you from the beginning all the way to the end. So they'll help you with the application process and doing research on what schools that you want to go to. With the admissions process, they'll help you, if you need to build your resume, if you need help with that application process. So you will have 2 advisors. So if that is something that you're interested in, we can definitely provide those resources for you. So as some of you may already know, we are the 3rd largest city in North Carolina, right behind Charlotte and Raleigh. We're located right in the middle of North Carolina. And as you can see, we do have students from all over the world. We come from 78 countries and 46 states. Now, to speak a little bit about Greensboro, there are lots of things to do for everyone. So what you can see here is this Natty Green's Brewing Restaurant Company. You're probably thinking, why is Tatiana showing me this picture? I love to give this fun fact. That Natty Green's Brewing Company is actually owned by UNCG alumni. So I always like to tell students that's a fun fact about UNCG. We have several restaurants that are owned by UNCG alumni. But there are lots of things to do at UNCG. And Shira, can you talk to us a little bit about Greensboro? What is there to do as students?
So one of the best things about going to UNCG is that it's only 1.5 miles away from downtown. So you're easily accessible to like a lot of parks, such as LaBelle Park, which is very popular. They do like movies on the lawn, and you can go out there, have a little cute picnic, but you're still in downtown Greensboro, which is really cool. There's also a lot of festivals that are held in downtown Greensboro. A really popular one is the Folk Festival. There's also a lot of sports teams. Another restaurant that's owned by UNCG alumni is Dame's Chicken and Waffles, which is top tier. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to do in downtown Greensboro. And yeah, if you can't get there, there's UNCG also provides transportation too.
Awesome, Shira. Can you talk to us a little bit about the transportation options that there are to get to downtown if, let's say, you don't have a car?
So if you don't have a car, of course, there are share ride companies, but there's also the Heat Bus. So the Heat Bus is the higher education area transit. And so every student that is a college student in Greensboro, they can ride the Heat Bus. And if you need to go to downtown Greensboro, for example, or go to Walmart or the mall or anything like that, all you have to do is have your UNCG ID, student ID card, and just swipe and ride the bus, and it'll take you anywhere you want to go for free.
Thanks so much for sharing that information. We want to make everything accessible to our students. So like Shira said, all you need is your student ID, and all those transportation options are free to you. And as you can see on the screen, there's so much to do for everyone. All right, so any way you want to measure it, UNCG is the most diverse university out of all the UNC school in the system. Now, I'm going to have Alicia talk to us a little bit about diversity here at UNCG.
Yes, so At UNCG, there's different cultures, different people from different backgrounds, countries that you get the chance to learn about when being on campus. Like recently, we had Hispanic Heritage Month, where like in my dorm and across campus, you could learn about their culture, just anything within that. We also have an intercultural and engagement program that just allows for you to learn about different cultures, make sure you feel comfortable with who you are and what you stand for. But because of the diversity at UNCG, there's a place for everyone.
Thank you. And she really hit the nail on the head. There is a place for everyone. And because we are so diverse, we are also very inclusive. And we do care about everyone here at UNCG. Now, moving on to clubs, activities, and things to get involved in on campus. We have so many different opportunities. And I'm going to have Katie, since Katie, you're a student here. What are some activities, clubs? What is there to do here on campus?
Yeah, so UNCG really encourages everyone to get involved in one way or another, and that's really easy to do because, like Tatiana was saying, we have so many clubs and organizations. We have over 350, and we have everything from Student Government Association. We have our own student newspaper called the Carolinian. So if you're interested in journalism or writing, we also have some fun ones like a napping club. I'm personally in the Classical Society, and that one's fun because every year we'll put on a classics day where people from the Greensboro community can come and learn about ancient Greece and Rome, and they'll make pottery, and we'll have plays. So speaking of getting involved, we also have 17 Division I sports. Students can attend all of the games for free. With our student ID, where they're all played on campus except for men's basketball, which is played at the Greensboro Coliseum just down the road from campus. And so they'll have shuttles that will take us to and from the games, so you don't have to worry about driving and parking. And the games are really fun to go to because you get to support your fellow Spartans that are playing or cheering, but they will also give away a lot of free stuff like UNCG t-shirts, concert tickets, even a semester's worth of tuition.
Thank you for sharing that. And I always tell students, encourage students to really get involved, no matter if it's a club sport or sororities, fraternities, religious-based groups, anything. Just get involved at school, just because it's also a great way to meet new people. All right, so now let's transition into academics, which is probably the real reason why you all tuned in. At UNCG, your professors are definitely going to hold you accountable for deadlines, for assignments, but they're also going to be there to be your mentors. They're going to be there if you need recommendation letters for internship, for grad school, for a job. They really want to see you succeed, and they truly are invested in your personal success at UNCG. So you might be wondering, how does learning work here at UNCG? And since our Spartan Guides are current students and taking classes and get the opportunity to use all those resources, I'm going to ask Shira to go ahead and kind of elaborate on what UNCG academics, what does that look like here at UNCG?
At UNCG, there is an 18-to-1 student-faculty ratio. So that means for every 18 students, they will be paired with one faculty member. There's also average maximum capacity on classes of 25 students. But if you're not in those 25 student classes, which is not uncommon, UNCG does offer a lot of support for you. So there's a support system called Supplemental Instruction Program. So that's when another student who had already took the class previously and got a B+ or higher, they're taking the class again just for you, so that after the class, they can reteach the material and answer any questions that you may have. Also, there is tutoring at UNCG, so every student gets 2 classes free a semester of tutoring, which is very great because tutoring is necessary, it's very needed. Also, there is the Math Center. I'm not a big math person, but if you are like me, you can go to the Math Center and they do accept walk-ins. Also, there is the Speaking and Writing Center, which is just what they sound like. So if you need help writing an essay or something, you can go to the Writing Center. If you need help with a speech, you can go to the Speaking Center. Also, take advantage of your professor's office hours, which is when they just sit in their office and wait for you to ask any questions that you may have.
So you definitely want to take advantage of all those resources that Shira talked about because they are free to all of our students. And they help you throughout your 4 years succeed here at UNCG. Okay, so here are 3 ways to enhance your academic experience here. We have the Honors College, residential colleges, and our study abroad program. So I'll talk a little bit about each of these. So our Honors College is just a way to challenge yourself every day. Our honors students do have a dedicated residence hall that they can choose to live in. They also take discussion-based classes and they get to spend a semester abroad. They have stipends and scholarships for our honors students to be able to study abroad as well. A lot of students think that being an honor student is harder work or more work, but it's actually, it involves diverse perspectives and you get that close interaction with your peers and with the faculty. And you get to take fun classes. For example, there are classes that are only offered to honor students. One example is instead of taking a regular philosophy class, they get to take a class that's called Vampires, Unicorns, and Aliens, which is a philosophy class. So they just get to take those fun classes. So if you are interested in the Lloyd International Honors College, ask us some questions and we can give you some more information about it. We also have our residential colleges. We have the Ashby College, the Grogan College, and the Strong College, and these are living learning communities. So they're typically about 2 year long commitment, and they also are capped usually about 25 students. When I think of these, I think of students who might want to have a small college experience within a larger university setting. So if that's something that you're interested in, you definitely want to look a little bit more online at these options. And we have our study abroad programs. We have over 500 students studying abroad throughout the entire year, and we have over 100 partnerships with institutions all over the world. And luckily, we actually have one of our Spartan guides who did have the opportunity to study abroad. I'm going to let her talk a little bit about her experience. Katie, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, so last fall I got to spend the semester in Dublin, Ireland. So I'm an English major and I got to take mainly Irish literature and Irish history courses. And it was a great experience being able to spend a semester in another country, learning about a different culture from my own. And I really love the way that UNCG does the study abroad program because they use a one-to-one exchange. So basically you pay your tuition here, another person will pay their tuition in their own country, and then you just flip-flop basically. So that makes it a lot more affordable. And on top of that, the International Program Center also offers scholarships and grants specifically for students that decide to study abroad. So that makes it a lot more affordable.
Much, Katie. So if you guys do have any questions about what it was like studying abroad, make sure you text us. That way we can ask Katie since she has had that experience. All right, so hopefully this is you guys in 4 years taking a selfie at graduation. We definitely have resources here at UNCG that help you not only throughout your 4 years here, but also after you graduate. This next slide is going to show you all the recent companies that are I'm sorry, one moment. Here we are. So this slide is going to show you all the companies that our most recent undergrads have gone to and had successful careers. Our Career Center will definitely help you not only from the resume building, but also with the actual interview process. So I'm going to have Alicia talk to us a little bit about our Career and Professional Development Office, since as students, this is a free resource for you all to use.
This is probably one of my favorite offices on campus. It was the first one I probably really went into and got involved when I got my resume done as a freshman. And honestly, I thought I had a decent resume, but they flipped it around completely. But they go in, they help you with your resumes, they can do mock interviews. They just are there. They just overall help you to become ready for once you graduate. They host career fairs. This year, since the virus, we did them virtually, but they're still just as effective. We also have a app or this website called Handshake, where you can go in and like these different companies may be on there and they're looking to hire UNCG students, or if you're just maybe looking for a part-time job or something that's on campus, they'll be there for you. But either way, the Career and Professional Development Center is a great place to be, and to look for any resources or anything as far as post-graduation or sometimes even still while you're a student.
Alicia, and she didn't mention post-graduation. I found this out at the Career and Professional Development Office. Even when you graduate, so after you graduate and you're an alumni, you are still able to use this office. So if I wanted to, I can go back over there and say, hey, can you help me update my resume? And they will be they'll be glad to do that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. If you take anything from this presentation, I hope that you take these 3 things away. Here at UNCG, we want our students to be inspired by their professors. We want them to be a part of a community where they belong and be prepared to live a life with passion and, of course, a paycheck. So the cost of a college education, very important, but it's also important to see how we stack up against other universities. So as you can see on the right-hand side, UNCG's cost of attendance is lower than the average public institution nationally and within the state. What you can expect in regards to tuition and fees is at $7,404 in a year for in-state students, and for out-of-state students, you can expect roughly that $22,564 a year. The room and meal plan are going to be average numbers just because there's different housing options and different meal plan options. I do want you all to know, keep in mind at UNCG, if you do not want to live on campus, you do not have to. We do give our students the freedom to choose whether they want to live on or off campus, although 80% of our incoming freshmen do choose to live on campus. My biggest advice is fill out that FAFSA. I'm sure your school counselors have been telling you this, and maybe your parents have been getting on you, but filling out that FAFSA is so important. The sooner you fill it out, the best your financial aid package can be, and we do have about 65% of our full-time, first-time undergrads receiving financial aid. All right, so what does it take to get to UNCG? What you're looking at here is our admitted freshman student profile. So I want you all to understand these are not our minimum requirements. Our freshmen we're pretty impressive, I would say, with a 3.74 weighted GPA, a 23 ACT, 1124 on the SAT. But we want you all to understand that our students are way more than numbers. Of course, we do have to see high school transcripts, but we want to know the student personally. So we want to get to know you. So what are you involved in? Are you involved in any clubs on campus, activities? Do you play an instrument? Do you play a sport? Do you do community service, volunteer work? Do you help take care of your siblings at home while your parents or guardians are working? Those are the things that we want to know about our students. Do you have a part-time job? So when you are filling out that application, make sure you take the time to do so, and make sure you are being thorough with all that information, because that information is very important to us. Now, the application process is fairly simple. It's an online application. You can apply on CFNC, Common App, or on our website. It is a $65 application fee, and we do accept fee waivers. And as most of you know, we are going to be test optional for 2021. If you do have an SAT and ACT and would like to turn that into us, fantastic. You're more than welcome to turn that in. It will not count against you. And we do need to see all official transcripts, and the essay is optional. Speaking of optional essay, if you would like to be considered for a scholarship, that is not optional. So you'll have to complete the application before our priority deadlines. So December 1st is our early action priority 1 deadline. So if you submit the application with the essay, you will be considered for scholarship, along with January 15th. Now we are, our regular deadline is March 1st, and we are rolling admissions, and July 15th is our final deadline. All right, so I hope we were able to give you a little bit more information about UNCG and help you better understand, maybe how we found our way to UNCG, and hopefully we can help you find your way to UNCG. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and thank you so much to our Spartan guides for helping me with this presentation. Don't forget, if you have any questions, please text us. That way we can answer these questions for you. And like I said, I hope you learned a little bit more about UNCG, and please tune in tonight at 6 p.m. for more information about financial aid, as well as the rest of our virtual fall open house. And I hope you have a great night, but I'm going to answer some questions. Let's take a look here. 1 second. Here we go. All right. All right. So I've got a question here. Rising freshman from Winston-Salem, can you tell me a little bit about the environmental sustainability program? That's a great question, and I don't know, I was not an environmental sustainability major. I don't know, do we have any majors, any environmental majors here? Nope. But how about this? I'm actually going to find that link for you, and I'm going to send that link directly to you to give you the most accurate information. Give me 1 second while I do that. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and do that for you, and I have another question coming in. On Common App, does the optional essay have to be different from the Common App essay prompts? And it does not. The question is, it does not have to be different. So you can use the same essay for that. It doesn't have to be our prompts. Great question. All right, keep those questions coming. All right, I got another question. So what is involved in the application process? So for the application process, we do need to see your high school transcripts, and we need to have the application fee of $65, but we do accept fee waivers. So that can be the CFNC fee waiver, the ACT fee waiver, the SAT fee waiver, the NACAC fee waiver. If you're unsure how to get those fee waivers, I encourage you all to ask your school counselors because you might qualify for a fee waiver and not even know it. All right, so I have another question. I want to transfer. How does that transfer process work? Do I have any Spartan guides here that was a transfer student? Nope. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that transfer process. So depending on where you transfer from, you know, it might be a little bit different for you, but to be considered a transfer student, you just have to have at least 24 or more transferable credit hours from an accredited institution. And you have to have at least a 2.3 GPA. So if you have 24 or more transferable credit hours and then a 2.3 GPA, you will be considered a transfer student and you can transfer. So what exactly do we need? We need the $65 application fee, or we do accept fee waivers. We have a program called the Transfer Information Program. We have one coming up in November. If you attend that, we will actually waive that application fee for our transfer students. So make sure you attend that. It's very great information. And we do need to see all college transcripts. So I get a lot of questions one of the many questions I get is, I took one college class at, I don't know, GTCC and it's not going to transfer, I already checked. Do you still need that transcript? And the answer is yes. We do still need that transcript. We need to see all transcripts from every institution that you ever attended. Another question from transfer students I get is, how do I know if my college classes are going to transfer? We actually have a link or a site on our website that will show you all the classes from your college that you have attended and how they will transfer over to UNCG. All you have to do is type in UNCG TES and it'll show you our transfer equivalency service. So make sure you do that. If you need help finding it, text us and let us know. All right. So another question is, I am planning to submit my application tonight. Yeah, good job. That's exciting. The question is, what is the estimate time of when I would receive a response? So we are trying to get our decisions done as fast as possible, but you know, we are getting many applications. So our response time is anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. All right, so what are the pre-professional programs? So we have many pre-professional programs. So that's anybody that's interested in going to medical school, dental school, law school, if you want to be a PT, an occupational therapist, anything like that, we can help you get there. So what that looks like is you're not able to major in these pre-professional programs. It's more of you major in something out of those 6 schools or colleges, you major in one of those majors, and you will have that pre-professional program as more of a concentration, meaning you're concentrating on getting to that secondary school. So what that might look like, let's say you're interested in being a lawyer. you might major in something like political science with a pre-law concentration. So you will have two advisors. One advisor is helping you with your political science degree, making sure you're getting all your classes necessary for those 4 years, and your pre-law advisor is basically helping you research what colleges you want to go to for law school. What's the application look like? What do you need for the application? Is there an interview? They help you with that interview process. They help you with your application, with your resume, all of that. They help you get to that secondary school, and in this case, it'd be law school. All right. So Katie, I have got a question for you. Can you talk a little bit more about studying abroad? So how did you decide you wanted to study abroad? How did you decide on Ireland? What credits did you get? What did you study? Were you in a classroom? Where did you live? A little bit on, we got a lot of questions about our study abroad. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I kind of always knew that I wanted to study abroad since high school probably, and when I went to freshman orientation called SOAR over the summer, there was a big fair with a bunch of the different departments and offices on campus, and one of them was the International Programs Center. So I talked to one of the advisors there, and I got a little bit more information about what it would be like. So I made an appointment with them to discuss my options, because it really depends on your major, what kind of programs they'll have and where you can go. So a lot of the programs were in England, Australia, and I looked at a lot of them. I narrowed it down to about 3, and I decided to go to the University College Dublin in Ireland because of the classes that they were offering. So I mainly took Irish literature and Irish history courses because I just needed to fulfill English elective requirements for my major. So I took children's literature, Irish literature and English, Renaissance literature, and Irish history from the beginning until something called the Celtic Tiger. So I lived on campus in one of the residence halls at the university, and I would really recommend that because I was really close to all of the academic buildings. I got to live with other students. Some of them were Irish, some were also studying abroad from other countries. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, question, did you have the option to not live on campus at the institution?
Yes, so you could either live on campus, you could find housing on your own, or the university could help you find housing, whether it's with an Irish family. It's called a homestay, so you'll live with a family from that country, or they could help you find off-campus housing in an apartment or a house.
Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. If you have any more questions about study abroad, please text them to us, and we'll get Katie to share her experiences. All right, let's see here. Another question. I am a part of class of 2022, and I was wondering, for the blue and gold scholarships, could I do that earlier or should I wait until I apply? So that's a great question, and you will want to wait till your senior year. You can certainly work on your essay if you want to make sure it is perfect by the time you apply, but for that blue and gold scholarship, that's going to be that essay portion. So you'll wait till your senior year to apply, and when you apply, you'll have that essay ready to turn in. I always tell students, make sure you start that essay portion early. That way you can get multiple eyes on it. So maybe have a school counselor review it, have a teacher, your English teacher review it, have your your parents or guardian review it, or even have a friend review it and see if they find any mistakes or maybe can help you make it a little bit better. So yeah, the question is, wait till your senior year to apply, of course, and also to submit that essay. Okay, so after I send in my application and essay, when will I hear back about scholarships? Hopefully we are going to be sending out scholarship information early in 2021. So we don't have an exact date yet because that scholarship review might be a lengthy process for us, but we are hoping to get those scholarship awards out in early 2021. Alrighty, so let's see here. What do I have to do for a major that has a secondary application requirement? It really just depends on the major that you're applying to. For example, any of our College of Visual and Performing Arts, so anything in music, dance, art, you will have to submit a portfolio, audition, or do an interview. So most of the majors that you have to audition for, that sometimes happens before you apply, sometimes happens after you apply. And I also tell our students the admissions decision does not coincide. So what I mean by that is if you are admitted to our dance program or our music program, it doesn't necessarily mean you're admitted to UNCG. So you do have to be admitted to both, and they don't, just because you're admitted to one does not mean you're admitted to the other. So that's always important. Anything else for our secondary majors? Art is another one where you have to submit a portfolio, but what that means is your freshman year and the beginning of your sophomore year, you're working on building that art portfolio to submit your sophomore year of college. So that is something that's done in college, so you don't have to worry about that. And there were majors that have GPA requirements. Those GPA requirements are your sophomore year of college. So what that means is you are working your freshman year and the beginning of your sophomore year to really get that GPA nice and strong. And your sophomore year, the end of your sophomore year, if you have that necessary GPA requirement to get into the program, as long as you meet it and or you're above it, you will automatically be in that major. And that is normally for the HDF, Human Development and Family Studies, kinesiology. Nursing is a little bit different. You do have to apply to the nursing program, and you'll apply the end of your sophomore year of college to the nursing program. And they typically accept about 100 students a year. Alrighty, I've got another question. Would I apply as a transfer with having 12 college credits at the end of December? All right, so that's a great question. So it really just depends. So if you are a current high school student and you have college credit and you're taking college classes, you will still apply as a freshman. If you have graduated high school and have taken these college classes after graduating high school, you will apply as a transfer student. So it really just depends on when you graduated high school or if you graduated high school. I know I have a lot of early college students or just students who decide to take classes while they're in high school and get ahead of the game. Good for you guys, but you still apply as an undergrad incoming freshman. Reason being is because you want to make sure that you all have those freshman perks. So freshman housing, and you get to go to freshman orientation. So make sure you are still applying as an incoming freshman. Okay, so I've got a question. Let's see, either Alicia or Shira, if you guys can answer this. How many people sharing a room in the dorm? And can we choose who we live with? How about this, Shira, do you want to answer how many people sharing a room in the dorm? And then after that, Alicia, can you answer, can we choose who we want to live with?
So, in traditional dorms or any other type of dorm, it can either be you or one other roommate. In some other type traditional, well, not traditional styles, but like suite and apartment styles, you can get the option to stay by yourself. But for most freshman students, they do stay in traditional style housing, and it's them and another roommate. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. And Elisa, can you answer, can you choose who you want to live with, and how? Like, how do you go about seeking a roommate? What does Housing Residence Life offer?
Yes, you definitely can choose who you would like to room with. It'll be a part of, like, when you fill out for your housing, you'll go through, and then it's going to be like an option when you go in there if you want to do a roommate, or if you have someone you know, or if you don't have anybody, you have the option of getting like a random assigned roommate. And so UNCG pairs you with somebody that you are compatible with. There's like this lengthy questionnaire that'll ask you different questions like, are you a morning person, or do you go to bed late? Are you messy? Are you clean? Just different questions like that to ask. If you That's on if you don't have anybody, but if you do, you have the option to go in there, and 9 times out of 10, it's just gonna tell you to put like their name, and I think like their ID number. I'm not 100% sure, but they'll pair you with that person.
Yeah, and there's also some like Facebook groups that you can join where you can meet new students. You can meet students from your hometown. You can also meet students with the same major as you. So there's definitely ways to kind of link up with students who have the same interests as you. And even though you may not know these students, or you may not know someone who's coming to UNCG, you can still find roommates other ways. And we do have all female residential halls. I know that was one of the questions we do. I know one of them is Ragsdale Mendenhall. That is a female residential hall. All right, another question is, do I fill out the Common App application if I'm currently a college student? You certainly can. You can also do that online on our website. So it is going to be up to you. Just remember all those requirements for transfer students, the application fee, the application, and also all college transcripts. All righty, another question. If you do not get accepted into the school in your intended major, could you change to a secondary major to reapply? So yes, so let's say you do not get into, for example, let's say you don't get into the nursing program. Our academic advisors are fantastic. So they can kind of help you say, okay, let's look at all the credits you have, let's look at what you're interested in, and let's map out different scenarios. I'll give you a personal experience. I came in as a nursing major thinking I wanted to do nursing, and I quickly changed my mind and I got into elementary education. And I got, UNCG is all about hands-on experience. So I got right into the classroom and I said, you know what, I love kids, but this just isn't for me. So I went to my academic advisor and said, I don't know if I can be elementary ed teacher. This isn't for me. But I was lucky enough to get that hands-on experience and be able to figure that out early. And I actually changed my major the end of my sophomore year. So you have to declare a major at the end of your sophomore year. I changed it to Human Development and Family Studies, so the concentration in child, youth, and family development. And I still graduated in those 4 years. So it didn't take me any extra time. It was something that I loved, I was passionate about, because I do love working with people, and I was able to finish that in that 4 years. So if you don't get accepted into that program that you wanted to originally, we're all about making pivoting and making adjustments. So our academic advisors and all the resources here can definitely help you do that. Alrighty, so when does housing start for fall 2021, and do we have to pay a deposit for let's see here, transfer? Okay, for transfer students. So housing for fall 2021 actually starts in February. So you definitely want to get started because housing options could go by fairly quickly. So start doing your research. You can go on to our website, which is hrl.uncg.edu. They have virtual options to take a look at the residential halls, and they have layouts. So it gives you the dimensions and everything to be able to kind of see what fits you and what fits your lifestyle. It really it depends on what you're looking for. Katie, Shira, and Alicia, give me a head nod if you all lived on campus your freshman year. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and let them talk a little bit about maybe which residential hall I lived in and what that looked like for them. And let's go Katie, Alicia, and Shira.
So I lived in South Spencer my freshman year. It is part of the Honors College dorm, but I am not in the Honors College. So for South Spencer, Honors College students can room with a non-Honors College student. So that's what I did. My roommate was in the Honors College, and I really loved the Spencers. It's a pretty old building, so the rooms are a bit bigger. We had sinks in the room, so we didn't have to go to the bathroom to wash our face or brush our teeth. There was a big mirror on the wall and pretty big closets. So there were also parlors and study rooms on each floor, as well as laundry rooms and a small kitchen. So laundry is free at UNCG, which is one of my favorite things. So we didn't have to worry about quarters. And with the resident advisors, you can rent out baking pans and things to use in the kitchen. So you don't have to worry about bringing your own, but you can still use the kitchen whenever you want.
Awesome. And Alicia, what about you?
I stayed in Philip Hawkins. I actually roommated with my cousin. And what I really personally liked about Philip Hawkins was kind of like when you walked in, how open it was. There's like, it felt kind of homey in a way. And then the kitchen downstairs was like open as well. So it wasn't like you're in this like tight space, but you got to move around and still kind of like see around. And it was just a really homey place for me.
All right. And Shira?
I also stayed in Philip Hawkins my freshman year. And another thing about Philip Hawkins that I think is great, and I know other residential halls do it too, is that the RAs and like CRL, they'll put together a lot of events. So like during midterms and finals and things like that, they put on a lot of events and give you study tips. They give you free Scantrons, which is really great. They just give you a lot of advice and host a lot of events so you can meet people that stay in your building.
Great. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. I know it'll definitely help prospective students that are looking, so it's good to have that insight. And I'll give you all some insight as well. I stayed in Ragsdale Mendenhall back in 2011, and it was awesome. I always encourage students to stay on campus if they do have the opportunity to, just because you get to meet new people. I was from California, so I did not know anyone, and it was just a great way for kind of me to meet students, girls in my hall, and you do have that community shower that you share, or the stalls that you share, but it's just a fun way, we'd all go out and put some music and we'd all dance, and it's just a fun way to build those friendships. Now, although incoming freshmen aren't allowed to live in apartment style or suite style living, you are able to do that as a upperclassman, which means that you can do that as a sophomore, because once you're a sophomore, you are considered an upperclassman. So that means you can move into apartment style living or suite style living. Now, Spartan Guides, did anyone live in any suite style or apartment living on campus? Yes. Alicia and Shira. Okay, Katie, let's talk about you, and then I'm not sure, I think Alicia may have. So Katie, you want to talk to us a little bit about that and what that looks like?
Yeah, so my sophomore and junior year, I lived in the quad, the historic quad, which is suite style. So my sophomore year, I had a single room, and I shared a bathroom with two girls on the other side. So it's kind of Jack and Jill style, 2 rooms connected by a bathroom. So the quad is completely suite style. So you can either have 4-person suites with 2 people in each room, 3, which is what I had, or 2-person, which is where 2 single rooms share 1 bathroom. So I really loved that. It was a great way to still be really close to campus and have a private bathroom, but not living in an apartment. And now for my senior year, I'm living in Spartan Village, which is apartment style. So you can either live in 4-person or 2-person apartments. I live in a 2-person, so I just have 1 roommate. We have a living room, a kitchen, our own bathroom, and we have separate rooms.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And Alicia, did you say you lived on, all right, can you talk a little bit more about your experiences?
Yes, this year I stay in Jefferson Suites, one of the like newer style suites. I have a single room and I share the bathroom with 1 other person. So there's in mine, I'll have 3 other roommates, and then we have like a little open living room area. There's like different styles in Jefferson, so they're not all really the same. But then we still have like a kitchen on our floor. We still have free laundry. And you have like in Jefferson, there's different study rooms that you can go in and like rent out if you just want to maybe meet with the group or just have like a little private areas. We have lounge areas. But it's all, I know some people are really used to having their own space, which I really enjoy, but you still have the opportunity to meet and learn and just hang out with your suite mates or roommates as well.
Awesome. And I will give my personal experience. I did stay in Spring Garden Apartments my sophomore year, so that was still apartment style. So it's very similar to what Alicia was talking about. I had 3 other roommates and I had my own bedroom, but I did share a bathroom and shower with one other person. We had an open kitchen, we had an open living room, so I did still feel like I had my freedom and my area. And you kind of almost forget you're on campus, to be quite honest, because you have your own little space. And then you do have option to live off campus if you want to. So make sure you do explore those options and whatever works best for you. Whether it's financially or whatever it is, your situation. We do give our students that freedom to choose. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences between the deadlines. The biggest difference is when you want to get your decision. So for anyone that is applying for a December 1st deadline, that's our Early Action 1 deadline. And that just means if you apply before December 1st, you're going to get that first decision back. So if December 1st sounds kind of scary and that's like, oh my God, that's too early, we're going to give you that another chance. January 15th, you will still hear back fairly soon. That just means you will still also be considered for scholarship. It won't be a priority over our December 1st deadline. And then March 1st is our regular deadline. And July 15th that's the final deadline. So after March 1st, we are on a rolling basis, meaning we're just going to get applications and make those decisions as they come. So those are the big differences about our deadlines. Alrighty, and I can talk a little bit more about our honors college. I got that question. Talk a little bit more about it. It is a commitment to be in the honors college. They do have to take an additional courses in a certain language, but that actually sometimes students do enjoy it since they do have to study abroad because it is required in the honors college. They typically do that while they are studying abroad. You do have to have certain requirements to get invited to apply to the honors college. Typically it's about a GPA or a test requirement. Now, if you're not submitting any test scores, that's okay. We will look at your GPA. And it's typically about a 3.8 weighted GPA or higher to be invited to apply. So their deadline is December 1st, which means you have to apply to UNCG, and then once you apply, we'll see if you have that GPA, and then you'll get invited to apply to the honors college. So you have to apply to UNCG way ahead if you want to be considered for the Lloyd International Honors College. Now, if you don't meet that GPA requirement, but you still are interested, that is okay too. You can still join the honors college. You'll just have to apply after your first semester at UNCG because they want to see how your GPA looks after your first semester. So you can certainly apply after that. And I encourage you all to look into the honors college to see if it's something that might fit what you're looking for. They do take smaller class sizes. They also have what they call Monday play. And I actually got the opportunity to go and kind of just be there and see and how it is, and I thought I was going to walk in and kind of just observe, but the dean of the honors college, Dr. Ali, he knew we were going to be there, and he says, all right, Tatiana, come on. And I'm like, well, what am I going to be doing? And I actually got to stand up and get involved with the students, and we did improv for the whole entire class, and it was just really cool. It was a fun way. I didn't know any of the students. They didn't know me, but it was just a cool way to kind of interact. I was like, wow, this is really awesome. This is like a class, and it's taught by the dean of the honors college. Like, how cool is that? So you get to build those connections. They also have some perks being in the honors college. One of the perks is, I mentioned before, you get to take those certain classes only offered to honors students, and they tend to be a little bit fun. One of the other ones is, a chemistry class, and it is called How Do We Know What We Know? And that is also co-taught by Dr. Ali, who's the dean of the honors college, like I mentioned. And then also you have on-site advising, which means your advisors are literally in your own residential halls, which is really cool. And you get priority registration, which means you get to register before anyone else in your class. So those are just some perks about the honors college. All right, is there a deposit to confirm enrollment? No, all you have to do, if you want to come to UNCG, all you have to click is say, click that yes button, I do want to enroll to UNCG. You don't need to pay an extra fee or anything like that. So if you do want to confirm your enrollment, it's easy. You just submit that application, and after you get admitted, you just say, yes, I want to come. Alrighty, and if I have any last minute questions, now is your chance. Feel free to text me, but I am going to wrap this up a little bit and see if I get any last minute questions. But I want to thank you so much for coming to this presentation, and I hope you guys found out a little bit more about UNCG. I want you all to tune in tonight at 6 p.m. because we do have our financial aid office. So if you want to learn a little bit more about financial aid, bring your parents to this, and it is virtually. And I hope you all tune in to the rest of our fall virtual open house. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. See ya.
All right, we're out.
Are we done? Am I done? Oh my God, hi.